In the continuation of this week's lessons, we're going to be talking about project management systems. And project management is really the core system that will track the work that you do internally for yourselves and for your customers. Use a project management system where your clients can have access to projects. This seems like a basic requirement, and a good project management system will have a space for your customers to interact with you, and importantly, for you to assign work to them. And the right one is completely dependent upon your size and the scale of your company. And I've used a lot of them. Some might be a little bit easier for you to work with, but they can all work. What matters more than the project management system is the processes inside your organization. Some project management systems can have those processes automated, others not so much. But what matters is the SOP development process around your organization's procedures. When you have your SOPs developed, then you can determine the correct system for you and your processes. One thing to note, the CRM is for acquiring accounts and for tracking sales-related activities. If you put all your account management-related activities and knowledge in the CRM, most of your organization will not have the proper context to deliver outsized value. Now, you should absolutely enforce usage. Without enforced usage, you will lack visibility. Assignability and traceability is one of the main keys of giving visibility and allowing you to scale. Without enforced usage, you will not be able to track, monitor, and course correct. The best way for you to manage your employees is to be able to measure their work. Peter Drucker, one of the godfathers of modern management theory, said, "What gets measured gets managed." The 3 steps of a good task are being specific, having a due date, and assigning it. Having a good requirement or good task requires a level of specificity that you might not be used to writing. You can create task templates to make this easier. A task without a due date is a wish. A task without an assigned person is a dream. A task must be specific, it must have a date when it's due, and it must be assigned to a person. This is the only way that you can have a pulse on what is done, what needs to be done, and where you're organizationally can improve going forward. And I want to speak in particular about specificity. It's easy to not get granular enough with tasks. I've mentioned that I love product management. Our understanding of tasks is shaped by our background. We do not all have the same context. This example draws from some of my experience in marketing. It's by no means an exhaustive list, but it highlights the important notes about tasks and subtasks. Many organizations have a blog. They will post some content and it will get minimal views and little to no organic traffic. And this is because there are steps to writing a good blog or series of posts. I typically allocated at least as much of my time on distribution and promotion of content as we put into developing the content. With every new hire, I had to really work to explain the importance of distribution because most B2B marketers focus more on just writing content than promoting it. I always felt there was irony in the marketing department not marketing its own content. So do not tell your employees to write a blog post. Develop your SOP for writing a blog post and then create a process in your project management system to instantiate it. This is a 5-second aside. It takes very little time to draw out a flow chart of your process. It takes very little time to add that additional context. Take the time to do that for your processes and SOPs, and your employees will have a better understanding. This is a cheat sheet of the project management systems. I wouldn't look to change from the one that you are using until you first developed your SOPs and determined if your project management system fits your processes. The project management system will be the cornerstone of your operations. Some of the systems, like ClickUp, actually have really good knowledge management built into it. Some of the systems, like Basecamp, have really good cadence management built into it. You need to find the system that fits your processes and your specific needs. The defaults are the defaults for a reason. I've seen them all work well at different organizations. Do not consider building your own system until you have built your own processes and tried to implement them in a pre-existing solution, including the defaults. I know there are a lot of organizations that really like using Trello and have a separate board for each client or customer. I find that to be overwhelming if you have enough customers because the project management system is your operational backbone, and not having full visibility to each project that all rolled up makes it really difficult. And as I've said, choosing this one is probably the most important system for you to choose. If you feel like you must switch tools, try ClickUp and Basecamp first. Consider consolidation. This has a whole bunch of benefits. One of them is that it's hard to be on the same page if you're not physically on the same page. And having everyone have access to the primary system, the more things that are done in the primary system, the more people can participate. Due to cost, you don't necessarily add everyone to every tool. Your salespeople might not have access to your help desk. Your deployment or implementation people might not have access to your CRM, and so on and so forth. So when you consider these systems, consider what functionality is absolutely critical to be outside of the project management system, and then which people need access to that. And try to verify that it's actually necessary and it's an absolute necessity for you to do that. Thank you, and have a nice day.